In this video, I'll be showing you how to create a real estate website using the Jet Engine suite of tools. It's going to be a website whereby you can create listings and add descriptions and add even a booking functionality. So I'm going to run you through everything from start to finish. Now, in case you're asking, is this tutorial good for beginners? If you're an absolute beginner, I recommend you start by any introductory tutorial to Jet Engine because this is a little bit more technical. Without any much ado, let's get into the video. For this tutorial, we're going to be using the classic editor, Elementor Pro, Jet Engine, and Jet Theme Core. We don't really need Jet Theme Core, but I just choose to have it there because it gives you the ability to have some flexibility. This is a live website I built for a client, bigbsparsuite.com. You see, this is it. And if you come to the plugins, you see we have all of this here. They are using it's a property management software called Clock PMS. In the course of time, we're going to have all of these other ones, a head and footer code and Jet Engine and all of that. We already have Jet Engine. We will have Jet Smart filters in the course of time when it comes to time for us to add filters. So you also notice one thing here. They have the posts, but we have this special type here, custom post type, which is called properties. And if I click on it, then I'm going to see all the properties. This, I mistakenly added this last night. So you see these are all the properties. If I should view one of them, you see this is their property page, but these are the snippets on the home page. You see boutique hotel, suite. If I click on view property, and then it takes you here, you can see this is a property page. You can see all of this. It even has a book button which takes you to the booking software. It's an external link. And then you see it has this Google map here. And all you can also see the slider, slides, pictures. You can see amenities. So this is basically what we are going to be doing here. Now, if you come to Jet Engine here, you can see the post types. You can go ahead and do a lot of work there. In our case, we'll just come back. We have Jet Engine. We want to go to post types. Click on that. And then we want to start by adding post types here. I'm going to click on add new. And I'll name this post type. I'll say property. And when I click on the slug, it automatically makes it property. Now, you really want to make sure that the slug here is different from the page on which you're going to display your properties. So I'm going to use this to be singular. And then you can toggle this down, singular name, add all of this here. We can leave all of this as they are for now. I'll remove this plus button. Leave them as they are for now. Go to advanced settings and make sure that this hierarchical is on, and then we can set up the icon. We can use one icon. Let's just look for house. Oh, we don't have a house there. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to use this for home, and then the other ones, we can leave them the way they are for now. I'm going to click on add post types. Now we should see something like that by this side. So this is it, properties, property. So if I click on property and I want to add new, if I want to add a new property, you see, this is exactly what I see, which is exactly, it's really not what we want. So we need to add a little bit more to this so that we can see all the fields where we can add information, and it's going to display like this. But before we go ahead, there's something very important that we need to do. We need to come back to our property, come on the Jet Engine, come to post types, and then want to edit this. If I go down to advanced, and I want to come down, scroll down to where you see support. Now there's something I want to add. I want to add thumbnail, which is going to be the featured image, and then we can take this off because we're going to add our own editor by ourselves. I'm going to update post types. If I should now reload, if I should come now to properties on the left hand side, where is it? It should be here. You see, if I click on add new, we just have the title and the featured image. So that is that. Now we want to add some more fields here so that we can add some more information into the website. How do we do that? Go back to Jet Engine and click on post types. Yes, I'll click on cancel. Jet Engine, go to post types. Yes, leave. And then back to the custom post type and click on new meta field. So here we want to start adding the fields which our property is going to have. If I look here under this property, you see it has a title. We already have that. It has this background image. We're going to leave that. And then this is the number of guests. This is the number of beds. This is the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. All of these are dynamically displayed. All of these are displayed dynamically. And then you see it has another title. Everything you need to know about this retreat. This actually is a static text. And then highlights is another static text. But we have different amenities here. And then we have this text field here for the space. And then we have the neighborhood, guest access. And then we have this, and then we have the location. So the first thing we want to do, obviously, is to add the number of guests. So we'll come here, and the label will be guest. And the ID, just click on that, is going to be filled dynamically. And then the object type field, and then the field type, we could see a number. Now optionally, we could also make this a text so that a text rather, so that the person just inputs the number, and we can make it a number so that it's going to be you click and add. And we can also make it something like select. So we're going to have a number of fields. Let's say number of guests. We could see the first value should be 1, and then the optional label 1. The second value should be 2, and then optional label 2, and we'll add 3, optional label 3, and then let's see 4, optional label 4. And then the placeholder, we can decide to put the placeholder. We can leave it the way it is. We also want this one to be required, so you must add this. And then the second meta field, I'll just drop this down. The second meta field we want is the number of beds. So I'm going to see a beds, and it's going to be that. We can also use select. Let's make this not text but select, and we'll do the same thing 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, not 22, 2, and then put 3, 4, number of beds 4, and now beds, that's number of beds. Now we have bedrooms, and we'll do the same thing, select, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, number of bathrooms, and the same type, select, and want to add 1, 2, 3, and then 4. We want to add another type. So all of these, make sure they are required. So all of these should be required. Do the same for the other field. Next will be location, and this is going to be a text, and it's also required, of course. Next will be gallery, and it's gallery, and the object type is field. I think yes. Then here we'll select gallery, and this should also be required. So if you miss it, your dashboard should give you an error message. Make sure to update. Next, the space, and the field type is going to be WYSIWYG. Now what WYSIWYG is that it simply gives you the ability to add your own text and customize it by making bold, increasing fonts and things like that. So that's the next field. Next field will be highlights. It's just going to give a list. We can use a list here using the WYSIWYG editor, and I'll make this required. Now you don't need to make all of this required, but I'll just do that for simplicity's sake. Next we'll have amenities, and I want this to be a checkbox. So we're going to add a number of fields. I'll see first of all hot top, I'm going to see pet friendly, I'm going to see breakfast. You can also add, let's see, spa, and then see what fire alarm. I don't know if this can actually qualify as an amenity, but you get the point. I'm going to toggle this. Next we have city. So it's going to be, of course, a text, and this is very much required. We have now property type, and it's going to be select. So we have here cabin. We have here, let's say, loft. Let's see the next one. We have apartment, and then we can have room. We have now a short description, and it should be WYSIWYG, and then we want to add price, property price. Property price should be, we'll make it a text editor, and it's required. Now property size, we'll also make it a text editor, and it is also required. Now just go ahead and update what you've done here. If I now go under properties and click try to add new, you see we have all of what we've added here. So this is it. I can add a property from here, add the number of guests, I can add the name, number of guests, number of beds, I can select number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, location. Let's just say this. Gallery, I can add a gallery. I'll just see, let's say New Harbor, waterfront apartment. Number of guests 2. It has, let's say, 2 beds, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, let's say 2 bathrooms. This is the location, the space. So I'll get some dummy content and add here. For amenities, we don't see, because this, I'll show you why we don't see this, and it's very, very important when you're using checkboxes. So let's go back to amenities here. Amenities, where is it? Where are they? Now, for amenities, make sure you always add this label. They say it's optional. You know, Jet Engine tells you it's optional, but if you don't add it, you're not going to see anything here. So just add it. hot top here, pet friendly here, breakfast here, spa, fire alarm. I'll paste that there, and then I'll come back here. I'll first of all publish this. It can't publish because all the fields are not checked. I'll reload. Now you look at the checkboxes, you have all of this here. So I'm just going to get some dummy information and add here, and you're going to see how it works. I'll start all over, and I'll add the name of the property here. Number of guests, I'll say 2. Number of beds, I'll say 2. Number of bedrooms, I'll say 2. Number of bathrooms, I'll say 2. Now let's just say the number of guests. It can take up to 4. And then the location, I'll use one of these. The gallery, I'm just going to select files from my computer. And I want to select some of these files, these pictures here. I will select these, Since it's a gallery, these are internal pictures. These pictures will all go to the gallery. And I'm going to select these. Now I'll just insert those. Now don't forget, we have to add a featured image. Very, very important. I'll select, and then I want to add one of these properties to be the featured image. I'll see this. Yes, I'll add that. So it's uploaded. I'll set as featured image, and then the space. I'm just going to come and copy some random text here from ChatGPT. I'll copy that, come back here and add this there. Now, since we added the WYSIWYG editor, it means we can edit some of the text. We can make this bold, and then we can come here creating one for both full. We can make this italics. We can also make this bold, and we can also change a lot of stuff here. I'll just leave that. Highlight. I'll come to ChatGPT. I'll copy this list of items. I'll come back here and I'll paste that there. So you see, you have the ability to add highlights. Then amenities, hot top. I'll just select all of these. City, let's just say Dumfries, or we could say New York. What was the city we chose here for? Okay, that's New York. Property type. All right, we're facing the same thing which we faced under amenities. So we come to post type, and then we come to property type, and then each of these. So the first one is cabin, second is loft. No, I'll copy this and paste that there. Apartment, paste, copy, paste. I'll update that. So I know that the first one is cabin, the second one is loft, the third is an apartment. So I want to say this is a cabin, so that will be the first. You may not be able to see it from here, but I'll choose that, cabin. Then short description, I'll just pick some text again from here, and just so you know, we may not even use this. The private, surrounded by lush gardens. You can edit that if you want. The property price, let's just see, it's $2 million. Or I'll just add, is that 2 million? No, that's 20 million. And the property size, I will see, this should be in square feet. So I'll see 2,500 square foot. So having added all of this, I can now publish the property. If I now go to see it on the front end, you see, it doesn't look really good. Most of what we put there is not even visible. So there is something we can do about this. I just noticed we have the 2025 theme installed. I don't want that. I want the Halo Elementor theme installed. You can also use the free cover theme which comes with Jet Engine. That's a lot better, and it has a lot of compatibility with Jet Engine. So I'm going to delete this. And if I look at this now on the front end, it's going to look a little bit different. So I'm reloading that. Before we go ahead, it's important to note that you can reorder the fields here. You can change the order. Take, for example, let's say you wanted the property type to be the first field. You can simply click and hold it here, drag it on top. So it's going to be the first field, and just update. And if I click now and want to add a new property, you're going to see that the property type is the first field. Now, the second thing we can do is, let's say we don't want everything to be on one line. We want each of these to be, let's say we want to have 2 or 3 of them on the same line. Let's say these first 3, we want them to be on 2 lines. So we can come here, property type, and we can make this to be, we come down, come down, come down, come down. We can make the field width to be 33.3%. And then I will do the same for the first 6 fields. Number of guests, I will do the same thing here, come down, and 33.3%. I will do the same for the rest. Now I've made the first 6 fields, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to be 33.3% in width. Now if I should reload this page, now you see it looks more compacted, and I want to believe that this looks a lot more beautiful. But for this particular space fields, it's always best to leave them the way they are. But the other ones, for the other ones, I'm going to join all these text fields into one area. So we have amenities is WYSIWYG this. So I'm going to drag this one up here. And then for short description, it should also be up here. This should be up here. Amenities is checkbox. So I could make each of these to be 25%. And how do I do that? Simply by clicking here, dropping down, and then I'll make this to be 25%. I'll make this one to also be 25%. Amenities 25%, and the rest I've made each of them. The last one's 25%. So if I should reload now, you can see how it shows here, property size. I want to believe that this looks a lot cleaner, a lot more professional. You can add, you can make these 2 of these to be on this, on the same line, but I don't think it's really necessary to do that. We can just leave it the way it is. Now we can go. Now, since we've added this, we can go now and under properties, let's go to property. You see we have one here. Okay, these are all drafts, so I'll delete these. I'll move this to trash and then go to trash. I want to delete them permanently. I like to do this. So we have one property here. I've gone ahead and done some cleaning, and I'm using the Hello Elementor theme, and it doesn't show me anything, not even the display image. That's the thumbnail. So I'll come back to the plugins. I just want to deactivate this WP Optimize plugin, which I use to clean cache. Now the next thing we want to do rather is to go to our Elementor page builder, because we are going to be using it to design a template for the properties. I'll go to my left hand here, go to Elementor. Under you see templates, go to theme builder, and it's going to open here, and I want to click on single post, and I want to click on add new. So we are adding a single post. Alternatively, you can come under Elementor and go to saved templates, and you can add a new template and select single post, and see house single post or property single post. Anyone is going to do, and click on create template. I will just delete this particular one. I'm brought to this page. I'll close all of this. Close all of that, and I can start by first of all, let me remove this plus. I can start by publishing this. I will not publish it yet. Now, this is going to be a fast section, because this is not an entry-level tutorial into Elementor. It is assumed that you have some knowledge of Elementor before taking this tutorial. So I want to click here, and I want to come to preview settings. I want to click here, come to general settings rather, and the layout should be Elementor full width. It's probably going to reload, so it's still in draft, but if it was published, it will reload. Now you can see from our original website here, you can see that we have this section with the background and then this text, and then you have all of this. We're going to do something similar to this. Now, mind you, it's going to be a little bit tedious, because you have to understand conditional logic and post types and things like that. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to add a container. If you don't know about containers, please check my tutorial on the topic, on the same topic. I want to come to this, come to general settings. I'm supposed to hide title here. I don't know why it's not showing. All right, I'll just go ahead. I'll add a container inside here. This is a container, and inside this container, as we see here, we have this background image, we have this heading. So when I come here, I'll just close this so that I'm not distracted. Close this too. I have just this tab, and I want to add a post title. So I'm going to drag this post title and put it inside here, and it's showing me already, it's showing me hello world. Why? Because if I go back to the back end of my website and go to post, this is the hello world post I have here. So automatically this is what is being called, but that is not what we want. I don't know, my screen is behaving funny. So how do we make sure that this is exactly what we want? Is this particular post, because the property custom post type is also a post. So we want to see something like this. Actually, I'm just going to click on edit, and I'll remove some of this. It's too long. And then I'll also copy this for the slug. Let me update this first. So yes, let this be post name and save. But I want to go back to the post, and then I'll click on edit. All right, it has taken the new permalink, which is this. Now when I come here, and this is dynamic, you can click on it and add this and add that, but it's not going to suffice. What we need to do is to click on settings here, and then come to preview, and then we want to select the particular post type, which is property, and we can apply and preview. So you see here that it's showing us that particular one. Let me change the text color. I can reload this again. I've reloaded the page, and you see it shows me this. Now this is dynamically detected. Let me click on this, and you see here this is a post type. So we have this dynamic post type here. What we can do also is that we can give this a background image, like you see here. So you see this background image. So we want to click on this particular background, go to style, and then we want to click on background type, and then we want to choose an image, but we are not just going to upload an image here because we want this to be dynamically detected and added for every property. So if you have 1,000 properties, you don't need to be coming and designing each of them. So click on dynamic tags, and then you can go to custom image, no, not custom image, featured image rather, post featured image, and then you see it's supposed to be loaded. Somehow it appears I need to reload the page before anything shows. I'll reload that, and it doesn't show. I'll come back and do the same thing. Classic, choose image, featured image. It should be showing there. I'll just give it some padding. I'll give it all around padding of, let's say, 40. I'll just center this, and then I'll come back here. Let's say I'll make this 100. I'll unlock this. Right should be 40, left 40, top, let's say 150, bottom 150. Is that too much? I could say top 120, bottom 120. So I can publish this, but not now. Now what I need to do, because I'm facing some challenges here, is that I'll come back to, okay, this is the title of the post. I'll come back to the settings here, come back to preview. I've chosen the property, but I want to choose one. Let's say charming. This is the title, so it's going to bring up this one. I'll click on that, and then I'll apply and preview. All right, it shows us the featured image now. Now we can adjust the featured image. First thing first, we'll go to style for this background. We'll go give it a background overlay of black. So that is that. And then when we come back to the background, you can make this 0.4. And then when we come back to the background, what we want to do is that we want to position the image to be center. And we want the attachment, leave it the way it is, repeat, no repeat, display size should be cover. So that it appears the picture is still too big. So we can add the top and bottom paddings here, 150, 150, and then we can change the image color there, and then the typography. Let's say we want to use Sora or Manrope. It's another very nice font, and then we may want to make it to be bigger. Let's say 50, and then we can make it 700. We can make this to be even darker. Background overlay, let it be darker. So this is this. We are now working with dynamic fields, and if we come here, we can see this. We have this bar with the amenities: guests, bedroom, beds, bedrooms, bathrooms. All right. So I don't know if we had beds. Let's see, number of guests, number of beds. Yes. All right, so we can use that. I can add a bar here. I'll add a container here. Add another container inside. I'll make this to be black. Background type for this to be black. And then I'm going to add, let's say, an icon list. You can add some icons inside. Let's just say icon box inside. This is what I'm going to use, and then I'll just see beds. First of all, I'm going to look for an icon called bed, and that is going to be that. Then I'll delete this. For the title, I'm going to go to and look for bed, post custom field. I'll look for, no, not that. Actually, I need to scroll down and you'll see jet engine, and I'll click on custom field here. And then the field I want to look for is bed. So you see it already shows me the number of beds which I added there. But what I want to do is I want to add a text after which says 2 beds. 2 beds. So when I add beds, it's going to say 2 beds. So what I can do now is to give a space, and it's going to say 2 beds. Now what I will do is I'll come to style and icon spacing. I want to reduce this. Content spacing, I want to reduce that too. And then I want to make it centered. I want the icon to be, let's say, white. And the icon size, you can reduce that, let's say, to 40. And then the content should also be white, and it should be man robe, and the size of the text should be, let's say, 18. So that is that. And we can just duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. Here we are going to look for guest. So we'll look for any icon. What icon do we use here? Okay, let's say person. Yes, person. These are guest, or I don't know if that's okay. And for custom fields here, just click on this key. I want to look for number of guests, and then advanced, I'll remove this and say guests. So it shows us the number of guests. Let's come, you see the number of guests here, 4. And now we want to look for bedrooms. So for this, I'm going to come and look for room or bedroom. I don't know which exact one I used there. I've settled for this particular icon, and then if I look at these bedrooms, I want to come here and I look for bedrooms, and then I see bedrooms. That is that. And then I'll come here and I want to look for toilets. I'll search for bath. I'll use this, and I want to look for bathrooms, and then advance. So that is that. And then I keep wanting to publish. What I can do now is that I can click to align this section horizontally. So you see all of them are aligned horizontally. Then I'll center them. And you could center them, let's say, space them out a little bit, or space them this way, or space them this way. It all depends on you. I think this is a little bit, this is a lot better. And if I come now here, you see we have everything you know to know about this retreat. So that is a static text. It's not dynamic. I'll add another section and see everything you need to know about this retreat. I'll just add a regular title and see everything you need to know about this retreat, or about this property. And I'll come and I'll align this to the center. Now, what I usually like to do is to give a container and another container. So I'll add this container and put in another container, and then just drag this inside and delete this. So I'll give this center typography man rope, and it should be, yes, 600 is good. I'll make this black. I'll give it all round padding of 10. Top should be 20, bottom 20. I'll just put top to be 30. Everything you need to know. Then we come here, we see the gallery. We can put the gallery here, then we put the information about the space somewhere around here. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to add another section. Now you can design this in whatever way on earth you want. I'll add this container, and then I'll also add another container again, and then I'll duplicate this container, and then I'll align this outer container to be horizontal. Then I want to give this entire section a black background. Like I said, this is not an Elementor tutorial, so I want to look for gallery. We have to add a gallery here so that we can have this kind of gallery we have here. I'll add this image carousel. Or let me come this way. Let me look for carousel. If I delete this, I can use this image carousel, and I can use the dynamic jet engine gallery. You can see that is that, but I don't want it to be thumbnail. I want it to be full. For some reason it's not showing. I'll put the slides to show to be 1. This should make it show now. You know, sometimes you face this particular issue where certain things are not displaying the way they are supposed to be displayed. It happens a lot of times. Additional lazy load, autoplay, yes, autoplay speed. You can make this to be 4 seconds. Effect slide, animation speed, well, direction, that is all up to you. We'll just go ahead. Here on this side, I can choose to add a container and then another container. Let's see if I add a container inside here. I can duplicate this, and then here I'm going to see highlights, lights, and then here I'm going to add some text editor, and I'm going to look for dynamic tags, jet engine, custom fields, and then I'll look for highlights. So you see it's showing here. These are the highlights. For some reason this one is not showing, but it's going to show. It can't but show. So let's just see. I want to use this style. I'll copy this style and paste it here, but I'm going to change it to be white. Highlight, no, but I want it to be aligned left. And then I want this text here to be white. Typography, man rope. All right. Line height, I want to reduce that. So that is that. Line height. Okay, we can make this to be 500 width, and then this entire container we can remove. We can make, let's say we don't want the header to be too far from this. I can increase the size of this highlight to, let's say, 35, and I can make this to be 18, so that it's going to align with this gallery. Then I want to give this a top padding. I'll give an all-round padding first, and then I'll unlock this and give it a top padding of 50, bottom padding of 50. I can even make this to be 70 and 70. And well, I think our page is beginning to take shape. I think it's possible to get more here, so I'll increase this to, let's say, 90, and then behind here to 80. Why not 90? Here I'm going to add the description, the short description. So I'm just going to add a text editor here underneath here, and I will remove all of these, and then I want to look for, go down to jet engine, custom field. I want to look for short description. Okay, we see the way it is. And then if I come now to style, I want to center this, but I don't want it to be this stretched out, so that is going to be fixed. Man rope, of course, man rope. Yes, that's enough. I think the text should be black. I'll increase the size of this. I'll increase the size of this to 40, and then no, 40 is too much. Let's see, 36. Then this, I'm going to increase the line height, let's say to 22, but I don't want it to be too stretched to the edges. Like you see, I can make this actually 300. Sometimes it's best to have something that is really thin, but when I put it 300, it doesn't show me those highlights. They were never that important anyway. I'll make this. So I'm going to make sure it's not stretched to the ends. I'm going to click on this, or you know what, I'll click on this entire section, and then the width, I'll make it 900 for this entire section. 900. I'll increase the top padding there to, let's say, 50. I don't think that's enough. You know, one of the principles of design is that the more space, the better. So it looks a lot better. Then underneath here, we're supposed to have something like 80. I don't know why it's not there. We can now add another section, and we have quite some bit of information which we've not used, like the space. That's the total description of the space. We have all of these city, amenity, and all that. So I want to add all of this. So I'm going to add a section. I'm going to add another container. We've already added a section, and I want to add another container inside here, and then I will duplicate this. Then for this, I'll make it all around 40, but I want to make it to be horizontal. This container, I want it to be horizontal. So I'll come back to layout, and I'll make it to be horizontal. I'll add the text editor here. So all the text, the general description will go here. And then I'll come to jet engine, custom field, select. I'll see the space. Where is the space? There's a text there. So this is the text. I can now add the text, a heading here, somewhere here. Let me just copy this and just paste here. I'll bring it on top of here. I'll change this to black and I'll see the space. All right, of course this needs to be manrope. There is a way to add all of this without, you know, to change all the fonts without always having to do it manually. And then I'll make this 300. Now I'll just leave this to be 400. But I want the line height to be more than this, and then I want the color to be black. So this is for the space. So our page is really taking shape. Now there's quite some bit of information like we saw. I want to give this entire container a black background. Let's say something gray first. I want to add the city. I want to add amenities. I want to add price and size. So the first thing we'll do is I'll add some other containers inside here. I'll add another container. You better get used to containers. You can't escape them. So I'll add this container, and then I'll add another container inside here and then duplicate. So when I now click on this first inner container, I can make it to be horizontal. So I'll delete, or rather I could just duplicate this. Inside here, I want to add the city. I want to add the size, and then I'll add the city size, then I'll add the price, and then the amenities. Is there anything else we've not added? Property type. Okay, I'll add property type. Property type. Location. So I'll come back here. I'll add some text here and see. I could make this as a heading, and I'll just remove this. So I'll come back to jet engine, custom fields, select property type. Okay, and so it shows us cabin now, but I want to put something before and say property type. Then I give a space. So you see the way it appears now. And I want to come and the typography, manrope, of course. And I want the size to be, let's say 21. And the weight should be 700. Size should be white. And on this side, I want to duplicate this. I'll add it here. And what should be the next? We've used number of beds. Then we want to see city. So click here, come to custom link, click on this spanner. I'll say city, and then come to advanced. I'll say city here. City, New York. I'll duplicate this, I'll drag this and put it here. I'll say property price. I think that, no, property size. I'll come here, property size. So I'll click on this. Property size. Where is that? okay. I'll just see size, no need put in property, size, okay. Then since it's in square foot, after we should see SQFT, so it's going to put square foot after all of this, so 2,500 square feet. Then here I will duplicate this, and I'm going to now add I'm going to add the price there. So I'm going to look for price, and before the price I want to put the $sign, or I'll put price. This is where you need to be technical. Hash or hyphen, then you put the $sign, and so it's going to show this way, and that is that. Now, what other information? We have amenities or city. I'll add a city, and I'll add city, or I'll just add the address. Where's the address? Yes, location. So I'm going to add location here, duplicate, and I'll look for location. Where's the location? Here it is, and you see address. All right, so that is the address. Now we can duplicate this particular one and add the amenities here. I'll look for amenities, and then we don't want anything after. All right, so we see how they appear, the amenities appear. Well, we'll leave it the way it is, and now we can add a map after here. So one thing we want to do is that we want to make all of this information to be more centered, and if we come to property type and all that, we could have done this differently. We could have added we could have used icon boxes instead. Let's say icon list or icon box or anything. We could have used icon boxes instead, and then remove this. So instead of this, I'll say come and choose property type, and then before I'll say property type, and then I'll put this. So we could have done this, and then you can make this to be horizontal, or you put it this way. So I think I'm going to go ahead, just pause the video and do it this way. I've gone ahead and done some adjustments here. So I've added the icons. Now it's all up to you how you want it to look. I'll just remove the paddings around here. Go to this, remove the paddings. Remove the paddings. I want to remove the space so that they are not very choked up. For these two, I'll remove the padding, and for this I'll remove the padding. So this is how we have it. For these two, I can give it all-round padding 10, and then unlock it, and the left padding should be 0. The same here. I can make the top padding to be 5, and the bottom padding to be 5. I'll do the same thing here. All around padding 10. Unlock this. And left padding 0. I think it should have been all around 5. Okay. So I'm pretty content with it the way it is right now. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the background color here too. Let's say black. You see, it really brings out the beauty. And finally, we'll add, and it's time for us to add the map. And I'm just going to add another container inside here. And inside this container, I want to add a map, Google Map, and then it's going to be dynamically fetched using the custom field for location. So you see it's going to use that location, and it's provided these map coordinates. So if we can preview this, let's say we want to preview this. Some things are not showing well. This background image here, it's not showing well. I don't know why, but under normal circumstances, it should be showing. This area is fine. This area is fine. This is fine. The gallery not showing. Everything you need to know about this property is showing. So I think we're going to check what's wrong with this. Before going ahead, I think it's important to publish so that we can see it live on the front end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on publish, and it's going to ask for conditions. I'll click on add condition, and make sure you come and choose property on the property. That's what we named it. I'll click that, and I'll click on save and close. So if I go now to the back end of my website, I'll go to the dashboard. I want to go to property, and I want to view this property. It's going to show me if it's actually displaying or not. Okay, it displays now on the front end. It displays this property on the front end, but we do not see, I don't like the way this image displays, but we do not see the gallery here. We see the map. So what I can do is that I can come here. First things first, I want to adjust this, the background image. I want size to be, let's say, custom. I want it to be this custom width. Yeah, but anyway, I could leave it to be cover. Is the same thing. Now, actually, it's the positioning that I want to adjust. I want it to show more of the house. So I'll put that minus 400. And what do we see now? If I reload this, this shouldn't be showing the same because I've updated this. Anyway, I think maybe there's some form of delay in displaying updates. The other thing I want to do is that instead of this carousel here, what I want to do is that I want to change this container, the width. I want this to be 50. So 50. Then instead here, I want to delete this, and I want to add a regular gallery. I'll add this, and then I'll select jet engine gallery, columns 4, and then I want it to be, let's see, medium. If it doesn't show, then we have a problem with this section. Let me close this and then reload this page. There seems to be an issue with gallery here, so I'll figure that out later on, and I'm going to fix it. So I discovered what was the issue. The problem was that meanwhile I chose the custom field of gallery here. I was supposed to click on this, come to settings, and choose the field to be the gallery. When I did that, it began to display the items, the gallery items. Now that we've added this and we can see this in front of here, we want to test our concept to see if this actually works. So what we simply need to do is to come and to add another home, another property. So I'll come to properties. The property, where is it? It should be somewhere around here. All right, I'll click on add new property, and then I'll just call this, let's see, Bohemian style luxury mansion. And then I'll see the cabinet. This is it's, let's say it's a loft. Number of guests, it takes 3. Number of beds, 4. Number of bedrooms, let's see, has 4. Number of bathrooms, 5. And then here I'm going to put it, yes, I don't know where those are coming from. For the gallery, I want to use some of the same styles of pictures, but I'll just add others. Let's see, I'll add these. I'll add these. I will not use this. I'll use this. I want to have at least 9 pictures. Then I'll just use some of the other ones which were already uploaded. Then I'll use these 2. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Then for the featured image, I'm going to use which one of these, since it's a bohemian style. I'll use this. Okay, so I'm going to set that. And then for the text here, I'll still copy. You know what? I'm just going to copy the same text for the previous one. Property. Yes, this is. So I'll copy this for uniformity. I'll paste this here. Paste this here. Highlight. I'm going to copy the same thing. Add it here. For short description, the same thing. Copy that. Add it here. Then it's also going to have all of this. City, let's see, Los Angeles. And then the price, this should be 12 million. I'll put those commas now, $12 million. Size, it should be 3,900 feet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and publish this right now. So it's published. If I click to view it, all right. So we see the same thing here. I added 9 pictures. So this is proof that our system works. Now I've gone ahead and created 2 more properties. So we have these 3 properties and we want to display them in this style. If I come to the home page of this website, I'll just come to the home page. And you see the way we have these styles here. Jet Engine calls them listings. So we want to create listings. So I'll come back here to Jet Engine. And if I come to Jet Engine here, you see listings, components. Click on that. I'll just close this out. So I'll click to add new. I think what we need to do, we'll choose the image. It should be post featured image. This should be it. And then the position should be center. That is it. I think that was the same thing we had last time. I don't know. And then display size should be cover, and repeat should be no repeat. Then I want to make sure that this displays the entire image. You can add a spacer. Where do I get the spacer? Here it is. and then I can drag this to be, let's say 250, and then I'll come to background overlay, and then I want to give it a background overlay of black, and I'm going to make it 0.3. Then here we can give it some more information. Now if you see most of what we have here, we can use this, we can copy some of this information, like the title. So I'll just click to edit this, edit single post. We can add some of those here. Even inside here we need to have some containers, so then I'll duplicate this and I'll copy this and paste it here, and then I'm going to reduce the size to 15. I'm going to change the color to black. I can make this, let's see, no, I'll make this 16 or 15. Either way, either one will do. Now I want to add the price. Here's the price we have here. So I need to first of all add maybe the location. I'll copy the location and I'll add it here. I'll paste that there, and then I'm going to change the color. Now I think I can just give all of this a black background so that it shows very well on the page. So I'll give this a black background. I'll change this to white. I'll change this to white. All right. Size for the icon should also be smaller, and then the content should also be smaller. And I want to remove this city here, so I'll come to the description, come to advanced, then I'll remove this. And if I come to this, I'll remove the spacing and I'll leave it that way. Now inside this other container, I want to add things like the price and the size. Then I want to add other things like this: beds, guests, bedrooms. So first things first, this may get a little bit complex if you don't know containers yet. I'm going to duplicate this container first. I'll duplicate this container, then I'll add other containers inside here. I'll duplicate this. I'll just first of all delete this, then I'll add something like the beds inside there. I'll copy and paste. All right, but I want to make this a lot smaller, and I want to make it to be horizontal. So I'm going to click on this and come to style. I want to make it this way, not this way rather, and I want to remove beds. So it's just going to be that. And I want to also copy guest and paste here. Now, first of all, I will make this one smaller, the icon to be smaller. I'll make this 20, and then this, I'll leave it at that. I'll just copy the style here and paste here. And I'll do the same thing, remove the guest after. And I will do the same thing here. Paste. Copy or paste style. Paste style. And then just do the same thing here. Now that is it, and I want to make this to be horizontal. I think I may have reduced the spacing, icon spacing too much. So this particular one, want to center all of them. Icon spacing should be 10. I'll just copy the style, paste style, paste style, paste style, and then I want to center all of these. All right, I think our website is beginning to take shape. Now I want to add things like I want to add this square feet. That's the size and the price. So I'll copy this and paste it here. I'll just add another container inside here too. I'll paste that here, and then I'll copy these two and paste this inside here. But for this, I want to reduce the icon size to be, okay, this will be 15, and then I'm going to come here to style. All right, I think that is that. I'll copy and paste style. So if I should now align this to be horizontal, I can push both of them at both ends. I think they will be better at both ends. And that is that for this. And what I want to do for all these containers is that I want to reduce the space. I want to remove the space between them, something like this. But even for this particular one, now I want to give it a general padding of, let's say, 20. For this, or for this outer one, I'm going to remove the padding. For this outer one too, I'm going to remove the padding. Even for the inner one, I will kill the padding. For these two, for this particular one too, I'll kill the padding. So this is what we have now. If I come, I can increase the padding here. Bottom, same thing. Same thing here. Now, what I'm going to do is that I want this. So I have, normally both of these were supposed to be in the same container. So I can just leave it the way it is here. I can just increase the line height. Here. And then I can just balance this. And I think that is that for this particular one. Of course, I want to remove the margin between these two sections. But before this, I think it's necessary that this price be a different color and even be bigger, because this is, of course, a real estate website. So I'm going to make this bigger, and if there is a way to add, to give this just this specific section some padding, then that will be good. I want to give it to the left 10, to the right 10, and then I'll give it a background color. I'll make the text, first of all, to be red, and then the icon should also be red. But of course the icon should be a bit bigger, and then the background color, I'll come to advanced, come to background. The background color should be gray or something a little bit more recognizable. And then you can give it, we can give it I think we can give it a border radius. I'll reduce the top. I think it's recognizable as it is. Go to background. I'll just make it black. I'll just give it a border color of white. 1. And then what I can do is I can remove the spacing between these. So that is that now. And then you can publish. Now I will just delete this, and I'll delete this column. So this is what we have, not looking that good, but you see it in action in the front end. Now we're on the home page of this website. This is just basic home page. The essence of this website is not to teach you everything about design, is to teach you how to use Jet Engine. So add a Flexbox container, and as our tradition is on this channel, add another container. Then I want to search for listing grid. It's a Jet Engine, inbuilt Jet Engine functionality. I want to search for, it was house, preview, and boom, we see it here. So it's looking good. If I publish this and I want to preview, let me see how it looks. I'll go to the bottom of the page. So this is how it looks. I think a number of things can be adjusted. We still have it open here. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to remove the padding here. I want to remove the padding there. And if I should reload, you see it's giving some. I'll also remove the padding around this. Come to advanced, remove the padding. And if I come now here, you can see, we can see the same thing. So you can tweak this and style this as much as you want. So you can scroll down, use random post numbers, lazy load, load more, custom query. You can use custom query to select the particular listings that you want, publish them. Now notice something on this home page. If I click anywhere on this post, you see it takes me to the particular Deluxe Villa Wanderlust. If I click on this particular one, I think I might have forgotten to add the headings or the header. I might have forgotten to add those. Sometimes it happens that the header, the default header, which if I can go to one of these, that's this default header doesn't show. It doesn't show on the preview on the home. So you need to come back to Jet Engine. Permit me, I'm switching from tab to tab. So what you need to do is to come to Jet Engine. I'll just open this on a new tab, go back to dashboard. Then you need to go to Jet Engine, post types, come to post, and then you need to add a new meta field called header, and it's going to be a text, and then you update. Now here is a problem. Sometimes, I don't know if this is a Jet Engine glitch, I see this a lot of times. I'll go to visit website, I'll just go back to dashboard, go to pages, go to home. I see this a lot of times. Sometimes it doesn't show here, but after some time it will begin to display. So you have to be careful. If you look on this page, on this website, this was, I think, the glitch I had. Most of these were showing twice, so I had to remove one of them. So be very careful how you do that. And so when you have to add an additional header, which you're going to display here. Now that I've added that, if I come back to my properties, you see that there's a new field there, and it's the header. So I'll just copy this Bohemian and add it here, paste, and then I'll come back to property, or where am I? Property. Then this, I'll copy this, and then Ctrl V. Oh no, what did I do? I'll come back here. Or what did I do? I've gone ahead and added this additional for every other property. So I'll come back to the template which we're editing, and here instead I'm going to change this, and it will not be post title anymore. I'll remove this. I want to add a title here. I want to delete this one, and then I want to come to custom fields. I'll select title. It should be somewhere. Maybe it's not showing yet, so I need to reload this page because it's a new addition. All right. Custom field. I'll select, and it should be it. Here we have it. All right. And then it should be man rope. And it should be, let's see, 18. And it should be 600. And it should be white. I'll paste that there. I'll save, and if I come now you see the header is being displayed here. Now you can style this more beautifully than this, obviously. So this is how we do it. Now we want to have a page with all the properties. Now to get a separate page with all these properties is very, very simple. I'll close these other pages. I'll come back to the back end of my website and I want to add a page. I'll say add new, and I'll just call it properties, and then I'm going to publish this and edit with Elementor. So I have this sample page. I'll just add a container here and then add this inside. I want to come back to the home page and just pick this up. So I'll come here to the home page. I think I could just pick up this container down. There was no need adding another container. I'll pick this here and add this here. All right. So if I click on this, we never actually did do some exploratory studies on this. If I click on, no, don't leave. If I click on this, you see I can choose to make these 2 columns or 4, but I have just 3 listings here. And you can also choose to make this a slider. If you click down here, you can enable slider, but it's not going to work because we have just 3 properties. So we come to style, horizontal gap. You can reduce the horizontal gap to 0. Vertical gap, I will just make this to be 20, and that is that. So I could remove these 2. Oh, come on, I just removed what I just pasted. I'll paste that back, and then I'll come to style and I'll make this 0. This will be 20, and then you can add a flex box, and then I'll add this and I'll see recent or properties, and then I'll come align that center, make that to be man group, and 600 is good. You can make this to be black, size 40. I can give this top padding of 50. All right, so that is that. And if we preview this is the properties page. Now I'm going to come to style. I first want to make this to be Elementor full width and then hide title. All right, so that is that. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of creating headers and footers and all that. You can do that by yourself. But the idea of this video was to show you how to create a dynamic real estate website using Elementor, Jet Engine, and the related plugins. If you got any value out of this video, please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so that when I put out videos like this, you'll be the first to be notified. God bless you. Peace.